So this is a video about things that I would want to see in Heroes of the Storm. And I know that I'm not the game developer or anything like that, so it's just ideas of me as a player. And if you stumble across this video and those ideas get you interested, then good. But that's all they will ever be, just interesting things, because I don't think they will be implemented in the game. Anyway, so first off is hero skin ideas. I don't have any ideas for heroes. I think the game's developers are doing amazing work on the heroes, but I have ideas for skins. I think I have only two so far. So the first one is, you have a regular Diablo, right? I think that what if he had a skin where he would be a hybrid Diablo? Huh? Of course, there would be a color change and change in the spikes he has all over his body, and also he would have larger claws, but it could be done. It wouldn't be too far off either, would it? I think they look similar. If you change the color of the claws and the spikes on the hybrid, he looks quite similar to Diablo, doesn't he? Alright, next up is a Nuuma Rock. Now, what a Nuuma Rock sparkles in my head, and I mean in terms of ideas, is he looks sort of similar like Ultralisk. And they also have another similarity, and that's that they both burrow charge. Yes, there are, like a lot of swarm creatures, swarm units can burrow, but only one of them can burrow strike. And if you look at those two pictures, which I've just shown you, they don't look too unsimilar. That's not the correct word, but whatever, right? They look quite similar. Like add another pair of claws to a Nuuma Rock, and he looks like the Ultralisk. Except Ultralisk has blades, but like, come on, it would be a skin. Some changes would be required. Look at the Butcher and Butcherlisk. Some changes have been done there as well. Anyway, and then there's map ideas. Now hold up, let me open the text folder that I have. Jokes, I had it opened, I just think if I would want to say anything else. So the first one would be Blackrock. No, not Blackrock. How is it? Burning Steps. Burning Steps would be a map I would want to see in Heroes of the Storm. It would be, I don't know if 2 or 3 lane map. It's just a idea, right? I haven't thought it through completely. So the map would be Burning Steps. And objective for both teams would be that they would have to escort their emissary to the Blackrock mountain. And whoever escorts the emissary first gets a reward in a form of the Blackrock mountain actually exploding and being like a volcano, and showering the opponent's half of the map with lava and rocks. So that would damage your opponent's base, damage the minions, and damage the opponents themselves if they would happen to be on that half of the map. And it would be actually beneficial for your team to push during that time. Anyway, the next idea is... no, not that. The next idea is the Twilight Hammer Citadel. Now, this one I have less idea about, unlike the other two. There's one more idea coming after this. So the Twilight Citadel would be... I'm thinking it would be something like a PvE encounter. Something like the Infernal Shrines, except the PvE would be a lot stronger. The point of that would be, it would be probably a 3-lane map with side areas. There wouldn't be mercs, there would be the Twilight units, like Twilight Enforcers, Zealots, Healers, etc. And you would be given about, like, let's say, 6 to 7 minutes. And your objective is to kill as many of them as you can. And once time expires, then both teams will get the amount of units they have killed as their allies. But there's a twist to that. Those allies are sort of like heroic, so they have abilities they will use. So healers will use a stun that will get stronger with each wave that you complete, right? So it's like, let's say you completed the first PvE, you've killed a bunch of those zealots, healers, etc., and you get them as allies. So zealots will have a self-attack speed bonus, healers will have like a heal they will use on both zealots and the players, right? Whoever has less health. And the Twilight tanks will just charge at enemy heroes and stun them for 1 second, and then target them for a few seconds, right? So it's something like that, and it would get, their abilities and stats would get stronger with every passing wave, which will be like 7 minutes, right? So at first time you complete it, healer will heal like 250 health. The next time you complete it, it will heal like 500, etc, etc. And that was for the Twilight map, the Twilights Idol map. Oh, and eventually, I mean, like, an endgame option, you could, both teams could fight over for Cho'Gall. Whoever defeats him gets him as, no, not whoever defeats him. Whoever deals more damage to him before the time expires will get him as, you could say like a boss to help them push. And the last idea I have is about a Starcraft map. The Starcraft maps implemented into Heroes of the Storm have not broken the game, but they brought in interesting events, right? What I want to say is, the last idea I have is, have you ever played Starcraft? And I mean the Starcraft 2. There is a mission that's called Cutthroat. It's a mission where you have to race the enemy in terms of mineral collection. You have to collect more minerals than the enemy, and then a mercenary group that's somewhere on the map will join you. If you fail, the group will join your enemy, and you have to defend against that. So that's the kind of idea I had for the last map idea. Holy crap. Oh, there we go. Okay. And I don't have much idea about this one. So it will probably be maybe even a 4-lane map, which sounds ridiculous, I know, but the point is, you and your opponents will both have bases, right? That's usually you have like core and then keeps, forts, but you would also have special bases that would have less defenses, and that would have SCVs that would be collecting minerals. And obviously, the goal of both teams is to disrupt your opponent's collection of those minerals. And whoever disrupts more will basically win and get those mercenaries to join them, and those mercenaries will act sort of like the Zerg on Brax's holdout. They will push your opponent's base, but they will also target the enemy, right? So that's about it for my ideas for Heroes of the Storm. I've had some ideas earlier on as well, but I haven't written those down. Like, I remember that one of the ideas I had was, I would maybe want to also see the Emperor Forisan in the game as a... which might sound stupid, but as a nuker support. You know, like, a support who can also dish out damage, depending on the situation. Like, he would have a... What was it? One of his skills would be deal damage and blind in a small area, like target one enemy and enemies around it get blinded and receive some damage. Another one would be to give to give all allies armor as an ability, but not much, only like 10 or 15 armor. And his third non-heroic ability would be summon elementals, which would do different things depending on his current health, right? So like if he was above 75% health, they get extra damage. When the player is between 75 and 25% health, they get extra attack speed and lose the bonus damage. And when he's below 25%, elementals get bonus from they get bonus damage and bonus attack speed, and also heal him. They do not heal themselves, they heal him when they do damage. Right? So it sounds insane, but it's a beta version of a hero. So it has flaws. And the final heroic that I wanted to see... No, there were two heroics that I wanted to see. First one was that you select an area, and in that area, a Dark Iron Engineer camp is spawned. The camp is permanent, and it spawns golems that have timed life and will push the nearest lane. you can move the camp to a different lane by recasting it. So if it has like cooldown 90 seconds, then you have to recast it somewhere else to move it. And your opponents can destroy the camp. And the other heroic that I wanted to see was Summoning of Ragnaros. But, I mean, obviously we got Ragnaros as a complete hero then, so that's kind of busted. I had interesting level 20 upgrades for those heroics. First one for the camp was that the camp becomes temporary, so it's no longer permanent. It becomes temporary, but produces a lot more golems, and those golems are permanent. And they group up first before they go attack. And the other upgrade was, like at level 10, the heroic with Ragnaros was, you would summon Executus with a few of those lizards. I don't know how they called in World of Warcraft. Just Executus and his guards, and they would help you. And at level 20, the upgrade to it would be that Executus and guards become neutral, hostile to both teams, and whoever kills Executus gets Ragnaros spawned in the place where Executus died, and that Ragnaros would be allied to the team which killed Executus. Right? So that's all I wanted to tell you about my ideas for Heroes of the Storm. And who knows, maybe they will be implemented, but the chances are they probably won't. My name's yet another YouTuber, and I hope you enjoyed these ideas.